Predator is the mind-blowing action-packed movie that has finally answered our question. What would happen if you add the Terminator, Action Jackson, and a star-studded cast and drop them in the jungle to deal with an alien who is a killing machine? You get one of the greatest action movies, not only the 80's, but all time. Okay. Here are my top 5 reasons why Predator is so damn good. Number 5. Perfect storyline. The movie starts off somewhere in Central America where Arnold, whose character name is Dutch, comes in a helicopter with his special forces to be debriefed to hear about the next mission. Hear about shooting some bad guys in an area. He then meets Action Jackson, and Jackson explains that he needs to find his men to do this mission because he doesn't know what happened to his men.
Some damn fool accused you of being the best. Dylan! You son of a bitch.
The team goes in there and light up the place with rounds, plenty of explosion, and even knocking out a woman. Arnold suspects that the mission was a setup and then confront Cruz about it.
You said so bullshit.
Then he tells her that his men are not expendable assets.
My men are not expendable.
Fast forward, they take what's her name, and now they're encountering an alien who is carrying fire through the trees and picking them apart one by one. Will the team survive and take down the Predator, or will the Predator take down all of them when the movie ends?
Anytime.
Number 4. Perfect cast. With a perfect storyline comes with a perfect cast. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is plays Dutch, is the leader of the special forces who is open-minded and willing to think things through. For example, after noticing the lady did not run out after one of his men was killed, he knew that she was scared to death and cut her loose and knew something was out there picking his men apart, and sets up a trap with his men to try to catch the Predator. The trap did work, but eventually the Predator got away momentarily, but later on we'll have to face him at the end of the movie.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Blaine, who is played by Jesse Ventura, carries a huge Gatling gun who clearly don't have time to bleed.
You're bleeding, man. I ain't got time to bleed.
He's a tough, muscle-bound guy who basically shoots up everything with the gun. Mac, who is played by Bill Duke, is an emotional leader and soldier who take things a bit personal. A loyal friend to Bane, he definitely don't mind taking things out or anyone out, such as a defensive linebacker pig.
Do you think you could have found something bigger?
Dylan, who is played by Carl Weathers, used to be a soldier but ended up working behind the desk, which none of the soldiers trust him or like him. He sets up Arnold over the BS mission, which Arnold did not take that too well.
You said so.
He babysits what's her name and complains about everything, but eventually earns the men respect as the movie progresses. For example, Arnold roughing him up. Also, you have Blaine spits on his shoe. Mac tells her he was going to kill him for basically something he did, and
I'll bleed you real quiet. Leave you here.
Also, the Predator decides to pick on him too. Billy, who is played by Sonny Laundrie, is the navigator that gets them out where the team is lost. Also, he's quiet and deep in spirit whenever he sees something in the woods. You can say he's trying to listen to Hawkins when he listens to his corny jokes. And speaking of Hawkins, who is played by Shane Black, who is also the director of the movie, is basically the comic relief in this movie, who looked like Egon Spangler. Pancho, who is played by Richard Graves, basically like to blow things up.
You got time to duck?
Although he has a small role in the movie, but he's a pretty tough little guy.
I'm scared, Pancho.
And Anna. After all these years, I'm still trying to figure out what's her role in the movie. I guess the movie needs a female character, so I guess she would do. Only thing she does is getting in the way and tell some silly story that will bore you to death. Number 3, the Predator. Predator is an alien that don't mess around. I guess they dropped him off to Earth because he was creating problems on other planets or something, so Arnold and his men have to deal with him. He is well over 7 feet tall with braids and a mask that covers his face. Once he takes his mask off, he's pretty ugly.
One ugly
Then he has a plasma gun on his shoulder, a long blade on his right arm, and a self-destructive detonator on his wrist where he's about to lose or taking a loss. In this movie, he has taken out almost everyone, and he is pretty good setting folks up. He probably told Anna to run through the woods so he could kill Egon Spengler, leaving him his proton pack, which is why we never got a Ghostbusters 3. He then sends a skunk to set up Blaine and got him killed, which caused the men to light up the jungle. He then set up a mag by sending a pig on him from earlier so he could catch Hawkins' body, but then later on got Mac in the process for being curious. As for Aston Jackson, well, we already saw him how he got killed, but we'll show it again because everybody is picking him. As for Pancho, he again set up a giant log that crippled him and later got shot to the side of the face, showing his draws. As for Billy, well, we never saw him fight because the Predator probably defeated him quickly, although Billy won a 1-on-1 sword fight with him. If the Predator is not killing all the men, he's either playing doctor on himself with first aid kits or playing with his toys wearing fishnets. Number 2, shooting jungle scene. So the scene starts off after the skunk set up Blaine to get him killed and Max saw the Predator who killed him. Max started shooting at him hoping that he had hit him, and once he had run out of his bullets of his own gun, he picked up Blaine's Gatling gun and started shooting the forest. All the other characters join in shooting the forest hoping they could hit something along the way. They shooting with machine guns, explosive, hoping they could hit something. They believe after all this shooting they hit absolutely nothing.
No blood, no bodies. We hit nothing.
What they did not know is that Anna told them they must have wounded it at the time when they were shooting.
When the big man was killed, you must have wounded it.
The idea of them shooting this scene in the woods was pretty good, that not only is memorable, but it never kicked in that they are in the survival of their lives.
What happened? I saw it.
Honorable mention, one-liners. There were so many one-liners in the movie that almost every character had at least one. Some of them were more memorable than others.
I ain't got time to bleed.
You got time to duck?
We're all gonna die.
No blood, no bodies. We hit nothing.
So what are you gonna try next, Cheese? Anytime.
Have me some fun. I'm gonna have me some fun.
Ugly
And I know for sure one of them that everybody recognizes throughout to this day.
Get to the chopper!
Number 1, Dutch versus Predator. After all of his men were killed off and he's been hiding by wearing mud and running through tree to tree to get away from the Predator. The Predator spotted him and picked him up like he was nothing. The Predator then revealed his face by taking his mask off and the battle starts. Arnold gets the first hit and the Predator basically snaps.
Bad idea.
That fight just turned one-sided as the Predator just counted him with every shot that he can imagine. This fight was so brutal that it had Arnold start crawling for his knife. He then cornered himself in a position trying to lower the Predator into the air so he can hit him with the log, and eventually he did. Next step, he picked up a rock and tried to hit the Predator, and he noticed that he's activated a self-destructing bomb. So then he runs away so far and ended up escaping with a huge blast. Well, he did escape the bomb and the movie ends, and so we definitely need Arnold for the next few movies in the upcoming futures like The Terminator, Terminator 2, True Lies, and any other movie. If you don't believe Predator is one of the greatest movies of all time, then you're expendable.
I may not know the expendable.